What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. And we have some major breaking news surrounding Jadon Sancho. The beef has officially been squashed. It's been... Oh, what? What's up?
You're on the different mic. You need to be on the other mic.
Oh, for God's sake. I've just done such a good intro then as well, man.
They could hear it. They could hear it, but it was echoing.
I know, but it's just like, you want the audio to be crisp, don't you? Anyway, so yeah, the beef has been squashed between Jadon Sancho and Erik ten Hag. The argument is over. Erik ten Hag had a constructive meeting with Jadon Sancho at Carrington, addressing past issues and agreeing to move forward. Jadon has now rejoined the squad training. We've seen pictures from that. He won't travel to Norway for the friendly against Rosenborg on Monday due to his later return to training, but will be available for selection afterwards. The focus is now on Jadon fully participating in pre-season activities. Sam, will we see a new Jadon under this new regime, and is this good news in your opinion?
Will we see a new Jadon? I don't know. It's up to him, innit? I guess. Like, if... We don't know what the conversation was. We don't know if there's been an apology. We don't know if Ten Hag has admitted that he was too harsh or whatever. We don't know what the conversation is. So all we can go with is they've both decided to move on from it.
Thank God.
If they've both decided to move on from it, that's what we got to accept. That Ten Hag is fine with him being in the first team squad, because I can't imagine that if he wasn't fine with it, he would be in there. I imagine he'd be what they're doing to Mason Greenwood at the minute, where they're just basically keeping him away. So it seems like he's fine with it. Jadon seems to be fine with it because, as again, we know Jadon Sancho's not happy, so he will just fucking leave the training, because that's what he did when they fell out the first time, where he's participating. So if they're both happy, they're both drawing a line under it, then that's what it is. I think it's a separate question about him being happy to come back in, because I think his performances haven't said to me that I'd be happy with him coming back in the team. But that's not to say a player can't improve and become better. But at the moment, as a first-team option, he doesn't excite me because he's not played well enough when he has had opportunities. But in terms of that, get back into the team and being under the first team, then if the manager's happy and the manager's fine with it, then so be it.
I think the biggest question is the intent behind this. Now, Man United sources say the focus is on Sancho playing a full part in pre-season. Unclear at this stage if he has a long-term future at the club, or United could still try to sell him for around £40 million this summer. If so, it would make sense to keep him fit at least. Do you think this is for a sale, or maybe to fulfill the potential that we've been waiting to see all this time? You look at the Elise deal that we got linked with, for example. Maybe they've looked at Sancho and said, well, we've got a £70 million winger there who we could probably try and get, the best out of, and whichever way it goes, we could either get, a decent amount back for him if he does start to perform, or we can just keep him in the squad.
Yeah, like the cynical side of me says they're trying to make it look like he's returning to first team, get him fit, get him firing maybe in preseason, and then a team is more likely to come in with a price, and then they can sell him. Because at the minute, if he just says exiled from the team, and he just says not training with the first team, and there's still that question over the fallout, teams are just going to lowball you, aren't they?
Yeah, you're wiping your ass for money, effectively.
Exactly. But if you make it look like, oh, you tried to reintegrate him, the optics are, oh, no, they want him part of the first team now. Maybe teams are willing to pay a bit more. And then at the same time, if a team doesn't come in, what's the worst thing? Like you said, you've got a £70 million winger in your team that you can utilise. So I think that's the way. It's nice to see Ineos thinking that way rather than thinking in black and white. Like they've sort of kept it sort of muddled so people don't actually know what's going on. Like we don't know about leaks anymore. We don't know about any of this shit anymore. Like nobody reported this beforehand. Nobody reported that they were due to make up. It's just literally happened within the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So that shows you like the sort of the Ineos impact, as it were.
It's just logic, isn't it? You think of it, it's better for both sides.
United
you've got an extra player there.
United don't do logic, remember, mate. They don't do logic.
No, but Ineos do, is my point. Like, it seems like you said, they've looked at the situation, they've gone, it's a win-win either way, because if he starts to perform, we get good money. If not, we keep him in the squad. It makes it more competitive. My only concern with this is that winger position so stacked. And again, I know people like competition in certain places, but I worry about someone like Ahmad, for example, if he does start pushing. I mean, I'd definitely worry for Antonet, first and foremost, but that doesn't bother me because I don't think I don't think Anthony's good enough. Whereas I think Ahmad has the potential to do really, really well. So then when you bring Sancho into the fold, Sancho, Ahmad, Anthony, Garnacho, Rashford, it's probably other players that I'm forgetting. What happens to Ahmad then? Would you be concerned if he was Ahmad Diallo when you see this?
Maybe a little bit. I think we assume Pellistri is going to go because there was reports saying he's looking for an exit. So I assume he's going to go. Like, I assume. Marty Forson's already gone. He was getting minutes over Ahmad at one point, wasn't he? And then there's a massive, massive question mark on Anthony. Like, huge. And we've seen no transfer movement whatsoever, which says to me that he's probably going to stay. As I don't think any United fan would like him to stay unless they've got some sort of mental illness. But I think he's probably going to stay. And then you think your left wingers are going to be Garnacho and Rashford. I know you said Garnacho did some of his best work off the right, but he wants to play on the left. I think they're going to be your two left. And then your right-hand side is, like you said, is Anthony, Ahmad, and Sancho, now if he potentially stays. So it's a question now. It's just like, who becomes your two first-team choices? Is it Ahmad and Sancho? Is it Ahmad and Anthony? Is it Anthony and Sancho? I don't know.
Well, let's do the pecking order right now between us in terms of Manchester United wingers. So in terms of priority from top to bottom, all the wingers that we just discussed, for you personally, where would they rank?
Garnacho's number one. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't rank Rashford number two, but he is probably number two, if we're honest.
Yeah.
Because the contract he's on, he's from Manchester, he's from the academy, and I think Ineos are going to give him another season. So I think he's probably number two. I'd then say Anthony, because of Ten Hag, is number three.
But I think Ahmad towards the end of the season just maybe pushed above him.
But at the start of the season, I think he's going to give the time to Anthony. I think.
You think?
Yeah. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we see first game of the season and Ahmad starting and that. I want to see that. That's the one I want to see. But I don't think so. And then it's probably Ahmad and then Sancho. That's probably how I think United would see it. My personal would be Garnacho, Ahmad, Rashford, Sancho, Anthony. That would be my personal.
Yeah. If you had to get rid of one player, would you get rid of Anthony or Sancho?
Anthony.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually do think it's a massive season for Anthony coming up. And he's another one who'd be looking at this thinking, fucking hell, like, if you look at the way Ahmad was performing, Sancho was, had a couple of good performances for Dortmund, Garnacho's flying, Rashford may bounce back. I don't see a way anywhere where he gets into this team, honestly. I really, really don't. And that's another one whose player, his value could depreciate if he's left on the bench.
Unless Ten Hag does what he did last season and just forces him into the team, even when he's shit, even when he's not playing well, and just continuously plays him. And then we're in the same position as we were last season going, why is Pellistri not getting minutes? Why is Ahmad not getting minutes? Why are we not playing Garnacho more on the right? Are we going to end up in that position next year? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what happens then?
Yeah. Dramatic Avocado says fundamentally different to the Greenwood situation, so it's okay for me. Hope he gives the fan an apology as well. I can't see him personally doing that. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if they've just put him in a room, they've had a scrap, and they've come out and they've squashed the beef like that, or if he's apologised. Or to be honest, it doesn't really matter, does it? As long as they're both happy going forward. Like I said, it can only be a positive. But I'm just curious to know how they're going to deal with this attacking situation going forward. It's nice to have numbers, don't get it twisted, but I think a couple of them could quickly become an outcast in that forward line. So yeah, happy about that news. And of course, if we have any further updates on that, we will discuss it. We've also had Joshua Zirkzee, Sam, sign his 5-year contract with an option of a third year officially today. Done his medical this morning. I mean, people were tracking his flights and everything last night. Does that make pre-season slightly more exciting? Do you think? You see a new shiny signing, it makes it better, doesn't it, instantly?
Yeah, but apparently he's not going to play till like mid-part
of
pre-season because he's going on holiday.
Of course. So just finish the Euros, hasn't he?
Probably won't see him for a few weeks.
I didn't even think about that.
It's a little bit annoying, but you can understand the ball because he's played a full season with Bologna and he's gotten into the semi-finals of the Euros. The guy needs a holiday. Otherwise, we're just going to end up with an injured player at the start of next season, which we don't need at this point because we already had one of those last year in Mason Mount, brand new signing, and we barely got to see him play. So let's give the guy a rest so he's fit and firing for next season.
Yeah.
Yeah, excited, man. It'd be good to see at what point he joins the preseason. If we get Delict over the line next, it looked like him and Delict would be ones. I'd love to see us get 3 potentially. Him, Delict, and Uwate. Because he's gone out.
Yeah.
He's gone out of the Copa America now, haven't they? Uruguay. So it could be good to see those 3 come across the line before preseason. Like that'd be exciting.
Yeah, I think a couple of in because like we said last season we only had Mason Mount, didn't we? I can't remember who went on preseason tour, to be honest with you. Did Onana go? Onana went, didn't he?
Onana did. Is it last 2 games?
I definitely saw him in the United shirt
Yeah.
in preseason. I know that. I don't know what games
He played.
he's done.
Did he play in Madrid or not? No.
Potentially,
Arsenal,
yeah.
Arsenal or Madrid.
Arsenal, he
Yes.
definitely played.
Yeah.
Yeah. At is it the MetLife Stadium?
Yeah.
In New York,
Yeah.
whatever it was. He
Yeah.
definitely played at that. But yeah, that's the point. Like, that's sometimes I love international tournaments. Don't get it twisted. And by the way, we are doing the final preview at 7 o'clock, so come and join us for that. Just to kind of remind you guys, we're going to be live straight after this, pretty much. What was I saying? I do love international tournaments, sorry, but when it drags over this far, it makes the start of the Premier League season a bit bumpy, doesn't it? In terms of like, because like these players that are coming back now. I mean, Shaw has only just come back from fitness. Really, he's not even playing full 90 minutes for England. Kobe has had a pretty congested season with United, and then obviously with England.
Kobe didn't start playing till November.
Correct.
So,
but he did come back from a big injury
yes.
at the same time. So it's like, do you want to put too much of a weight load on him in that sense? Yeah, it makes it a bit of a bobbly start to the Premier League, which I don't really like, and I'm sure the coaches won't like. So I would prefer to get these in for pre-season, get them working together, get the structures in place, get these kind of styles and patterns. So I think you might see a bit of a laggy start to the season, just from looking at it at a minute in terms of, players coming back. I'm sure Bruno's going to need a big rest. Dalot as well. Played shitloads of minutes.
Yeah.
That is something that would worry me, Sam.
Yeah. Well, I suppose one thing about Zirkzee is he didn't really get many minutes, did he? For Netherlands. Like, he had a couple of minutes in. Delict. Did Delict get any minutes? I don't remember him coming on.
I can't remember seeing him.
No. So, I suppose it's that. Like, they've had, how long's the tournament been? Like, 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
Yeah.
So they've had a couple of weeks where, they've been training, but they've not had to deal with like 90-minute plus matches, which Bruno has, Dalot has, Kobe has. So I suppose there's that, yeah. But yeah, give him a holiday, get him rest, recuperated, and then let's see what's happening. Maybe halfway through the America tour. I know we've got Rosenborg Monday, and is it Rangers the following week?
Doesn't that just light a fire under your nuts, yeah. Rosenborg? Yeah, Monday. Can't wait for that.
I don't even know where it is in Norway. I couldn't even tell you where it is.
Nah. And also, God knows who's going to start that game. I have no idea.
So, I imagine that's going to be the likes of like Harry Amas and
that in that sense, it's quite exciting.
It's nice. It's good to see the use it. But maybe halfway through the America tour, maybe like Real Betis or Liverpool type things.
Yeah,
maybe that's when we see Zirkzee or Delict, depending if that gets over the line.
Yeah, which is next up, apparently early next week. Grace Sheridan saying Sancho coming back to training and talking with the manager doesn't mean he'll play for United again. I still think he will move. I think we're both skeptical about it, aren't we, with Sancho? Yeah. I don't see this as like, oh, he's fantastic, he's back in the squad, he's going to start killing it again. I just think, it's like we said, it's a win-win. You put him in the shop window. If he starts performing well, you're going to get a fee for him, at least, because I think there's a lot of clubs around Europe at the minute who are unwilling to pay what we want.
We've seen as well, though, like, it's not exactly the same circumstances, but do you remember when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked about Alexis Sanchez? It's like, yeah, he's going to come back, we're integrating him to the first team, we're looking forward to he can make an impact, and then literally the next week, he was sold, gone. Yeah. So, yeah, until you see the season start and he's in the starting lineup on the first 11 on the first day of the season, let's come at it with he's probably still going to go.
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know. He might show something in training. Ten Hag might get something out of him and he might think, maybe I can work with him, maybe I can develop him. So you never know. But yeah, for me, I still think he's on the sell list, I would say.
Again, it comes back to competition, doesn't it? I think the attacking dynamic with Zirkzee coming in, Zirkzee, Højlund as your strikers, you've got Rashford, Garnacho on the left, then you've got Ahmad, Antony, and Sancho in the forward line. That is them 3 positions you're looking at. Like, you don't really need anyone in there. At least in my opinion, you don't. The midfield and defense is where it needs work. If you can bring reinforcements in there who can stay fit consistently, thank God you finally got. It's looking like a little bit of squad depth. I mean, you could be looking at the bench one game and you've got Mason Mount, Jadon Sancho, Amad Diallo, other midfielders and defenders, and you can be like, okay, that's better. That's better options. Because half the time we was looking to the bench, it was just fucking shocking, wasn't it?
Just young kids.
Not shocking. I don't mean to disrespect them, but you know what I'm saying, don't you?
They've not played a minute of first team football ever, and
Yeah.
that's who you've got to like come on to change the game. And it's like, it's a lot.
You're
of
seeing
pressure.
guys who never ever someone's name you never seen before. Like no disrespect to him, but like Lewis Jackson, he was on the bench. He was like, who the fuck, a 16-year-old centre back? What's he doing on the bench? Like, it's crazy. So
it does worry me though. Like we've got sort of like depth now in the forward line: Zirkzee, Højlund, Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho potentially staying, Anthony, Ahmad. Defense, we seem to be like getting a bit of depth in there. Like with Delict's on the line, Yoro possibly coming in. I don't know about Branthwaite, but who knows? The part that worries me is the midfield. Midfield looks really, really short right now.
Yeah,
like I'm worried about
especially in the defensive midfield position. That is where we're really short, because you look at 8s, you've got Bruno could technically play there. You've got Ericsson. Again, don't know what's going to happen with him. Mount, Kobe. 6, you've got Casemiro, and that's it. That is literally it. Yeah. And also, we don't know what style we're going to go with going forward.
Casemiro had a fucking abysmal season as well.
Yeah.
So it's like the confidence isn't high. Like, it's not high.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to hear everyone else's opinions. We've got 46 people in the chat at the minute. Make sure you smash a like on the video if you're happy about this news one way or the other. Please do hit that subscribe button as well. We're on 5,890 subs currently, so we're 10 off. There's quite a few of you in the chat who aren't subscribed to the channel, so please do hit that button if you love football content and you love lives on a regular basis. Random guy who's been a member for a month said, I would consider him as our new winger signing. Yeah, that's how they usually label it, innit? They're giving one of our players
it's like a new signing, blah, blah, blah. Like same old shit.
Remember that? It's like, oh, yeah, Eric Bailly, new contract. It's our new centre-back. Like, get to fuck. Random Guy's also, being the legend that he is, and he always does this, is gifted a Real Reds Talk membership. So, Dramatic Avocado, I mean, you deserve it for your name anyway. You are the recipient of that membership. And we are going to get some content out over the weekend for the members. So, if you want to become a member of the channel, Real Red Ultra, click the join button next to the notification bell. Go on.
We've got 55 people in the chat. So, should I give some memberships? Right, we can give
Why not? Yeah.
Let's do that.
Santa.
There we go.
Samta at it again. So let's see who's going to get it. 46 people or 50 odd people in the chat. Just gifted 5. Steph has got 1. Jimmy Freeman, Liam Jones, Abdi Ali, and
good luck with that last name. Go on.
Oh God, I'll try it. Shiamo Blessing Moseki, I think.
Pretty good.
That's not bad, was it? That's all right. Tommy Boyle saying, I bet Sir Jim conducted that meeting, banged their heads together. Let's hope it works out and Sancho gets on with it without needing nappies now. That's hilarious.
Not a fan of Sancho, apparently.
Grace is saying we don't need 6s. We're playing a 2-1-7 all-out attack. You don't know that, Sam?
Jesus Christ.
2-1-7. Yeah.
I mean, you thought chaos last season. That would be ridiculous.
Just ultra attacking, mate. That's all it is. Sancho needs to apologise, says D Brown. Maybe he already has. Maybe, no one knows the conversations. I mean, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when they both first initially walked into the room. And you're like, and it's, you get that little bit of awkwardness when someone's had an argument and you're like, ooh. I bet all the players are there, like, watching like that, like, ooh, what's going on?
I mean,
but they've sorted it. So.
I bet Rashford was happy because it's his best mate, isn't it? He loves Sancho, so.
Yeah. I'm sure he's made up. Adolf Madziva. Oh, Jesus, that's an hard second name. Why is everyone who's coming in the chat has just got a really hard name to say? Adolf.
No, it's not Adolf. It's Adloff. I think it's Adloff.
Adolf, sorry. Not Adolf. Completely different.
Madzi Van Zero.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Sorry if I've absolutely butchered that pronunciation.
We try.
Yeah, we try. Kevin Rames says Rashford, Tomine, Maguire, Anthony need to be sold. I don't see any of them going, to be honest. I honestly really, really don't.
the most likely is McTominay because I have heard Fulham being interested in him because obviously Palhinha's gone and they've got a bit of cash. So I've seen that link, but I've seen nothing on Maguire. And we saw loads of it last summer, didn't we? Like there was loads of leads. Seen nothing on that. Rashford, I've seen the PSG things, but apparently it's bollocks. Like there's nothing in it. Is what James from Muppeteers told us. And then Anthony's not going anywhere. Like it's just not happening.
Yeah, I don't see selling it. I think Ineos, we saw the stuff coming out from Ineos, didn't we, about Anthony saying that they believe he's a phenomenal talent. And who knows, stranger things have happened in football. Anthony could turn it around and he could end up looking like a world beater. It's not out of the realms of possibility, I would say, but he's got a long way to go. I've saved the best news till last, Sam, and you'll be glad to know. Get ready for this blockbuster of a headline. Johnny Evans signs a new 1-year deal at Manchester United. How does that make you feel?
I'm all right with it. If we do get the cover that we seem to be going for 2 centre backs, as it seemed like Yoro, Branthwaite seems to be the 2 that we're looking at. With De Ligt is almost in the door, so Johnny Evans as cover, I don't mind. Johnny Evans and Cambuala as cover, like I'm all right with that. Like I'm fine with that. You've obviously got Maguire as well, so I'd say Lindelof. Lindelof is probably going to leave if we re-sign Johnny Evans and we get in De Ligt and another centre back. I imagine Lindelof is going. Yeah, I imagine that's one.
The money that's being offered, it's like the bid for Montaka as well. It's fucking pennies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? How can you reinvest €9 million? That's like 3 months worth of Sancho's wages. It's fucking.
Is he on the last year of his contract? Lindelof,
I think so.
As well? Yeah.
Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka. There's a few more as well. They were on like the last year, so it's a tricky one.
I would prefer that we sold Maguire because you can get some money for him. And he's got big wages, so I'd prefer that. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. There doesn't seem any interest. If there is, it's being played very close to the chest by United because I've not seen anything. Whereas I've seen links to Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka. But yeah, if Johnny Evans is re-signing and we're going to get 2 centre-backs, somebody surely has to go, right?
Oh, this in the loophole. Instead of signing Euro, they're just Evans on a 1-year deal. Why not?
So that would be like Johnny Evans, De Ligt, Lissandro, Cambuala, Maguire, that's 5. Lindelof, that's 6. Seems like there's one too many there for me.
Well, you saw the stuff about Cambuala, didn't we, recently, about him not re-signing, which is slightly worrying. But regardless, whichever way you look at it, we need cover at centre-back. We absolutely need cover there. So bodies there isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just don't know how that list is going to kind of compile towards the end, start of the season, should I say, in like mid-August. I think that's interesting. We have 61 people currently in the chat. We are live at 7 o'clock, so we're live in 25 minutes again to cover the Euros final, England versus Spain. And there's 3 of us on that. Me, Sam, and Alex will be on discussing that in depth. Of course, we had this news breaking, so we wanted to go live. So appreciate everyone who's kind of tuned into this. I'll read out the last few comments. Sancho, Sean, always with the comical comments. Sancho was that bird that rejects you. Then when she realises nothing better is on the offer, she comes running back before the end of the night to pay for her drinks. Okay. Random guy saying unsellable list. Go on.
You know what? That was for Sean. That was quite tame. I was expecting horrific.
Yeah, true.
Then. I was looking at it, but fair enough.
That isn't your cue, Sean, to then put something horrific in the chat, by the way. No, please, keep it tame. There's kids in the chat. Unsellable list. Anthony, Sancho, Mainu, Garnacho, and Højlund, all for different reasons. So unsellable's got more than one meaning. Let's see what you're doing there. Arna Mathiasen says Sancho felt like one of those random Woodward buys. Good player, but does he fit? Not in my opinion. No. Not in my opinion, no. I think, we can leave it at that, Sam. Thank you very much to everyone tuning in. Please do drop us a follow on all socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. And come and join us, for whether you're an England fan or not, if you want to see England get beat in the final, join us for that preview, because it's going to be very exciting. And we've got a quiz towards the end as well, so something for you guys to get involved with.
Maybe if you're a Spain fan, come join that.
Exactly, Espanol, speak Espanol, no? I could do a much more X-rates analogy. I'm sure you can, Sean.
No, Sean.
I'm sure you can. No, I have no doubt about that whatsoever. Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you at 7 o'clock. Hopefully, enjoy the rest of your day. And take it easy. See you in a bit.
Peace.